Guess what's back in West Palm Beach? Hot weather. A little chilly down here a week ago. Cardinals down from Jupiter. It's only about a 20-minute drive. So tickets scanned. There'll be a lot of red from both ball clubs in the stands tonight. Still a relatively quiet spring training. That's a good thing. Although Adam Eaton has a hamstring. Victor Robles a little shaken up, but not much right at this point. More on that during the ball game. But tonight we get to see Patrick Corbin, and it's hard to think about Patrick Corbin without his bullpen heroics in the World Series.
Yeah, Game 7 winner Patrick Corbin. We're going to show you some highlights right now, doing whatever he could for Davey Martinez. You want to relieve? I'll relieve. I'll do whatever you want to win. Davey talking about this today. He just wanted one inning out of him. He came out of the first inning he pitched. He said, "You got another one in you, big boy?" He said, "Yep." So he went out there for the second, and he came off the field after the second. He said, "You got one more in you." So he went 3 innings of shutout baseball in Game 7 of the World Series, and just epitomizes what this ball club was like last year. And then the next day, everybody went trick-or-treating as world champs.
Well, and Patrick Corbin signed the big contract. How did he do in his first year with a new ball club? Let the numbers speak for themselves. He did everything the Nats asked him to do. The slider was a killer one to right-handed batters. Screech is here. Michael A. Taylor and Trey, they're the local guys who live right down the road from here. Ryan Zimmerman's going to DH with Howie at first base. What else can we tell you other than first pitch straight ahead? Oh, yeah, he's in there, too. Well, let's talk about the Nats when they played the Cardinals. FP, this came close, other than a couple of errors, to being a series where the Nats almost threw 4 shutouts against these guys.
So you remember in Game 1, Anibal Sanchez had the no-hitter going. He went 7 2/3, struck out 5, gave up just 1 hit in that one. And then Game 2 is Max with 11 strikeouts. He went 7 strong, gave up just 1 hit. So Anibal was throwing a no-hitter in Game 1 of the NLCS. Max came right back and had one going in Game 2. And their broadcasters didn't get to say, "There goes the no-hitter." Not for a while.
There's Davey getting ready for this one. It's the Nats' 11th game of the spring. 4-6 so far. It's 86. So we were into the 90s today. And some big-time hot Florida weather. Tommy Edman, he blossomed last year. 6 hits, 3 RBIs this spring. They love this kid. He can play everywhere. Maybe the talk of their camp is the guy hitting right behind him. Dylan Carlson, still very young. He's one of the top prospects in baseball. Could make the big club out of spring training. And the former Nat, Matt Wieters, in there, batting third tonight. Patrick Corbin, it'll be his second start of the spring, and so far, 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, couple of walks, and no strikeouts yet.
Yeah, 30 years old, 6'3", 210. 14-7 last year with a 3.25. You see it right there. Pitch Game 4 of the NLCS, where he struck out 12 Cardinals, so he faces them again here today. Remember that the Nats scored, I think, 42 runs in the first inning of Game 4.
Yeah, he got the big lead early, and the Nats took care of business from there. I like the defensive alignment tonight.
There it is. Soto, Taylor, Stevenson in the outfield. Turner, Kieboom on the left side. Castro, Kendrick on the right side. Yan Gomes doing the catching. There's Starlin Castro playing second base tonight.
That's where he's expected to get the bulk of his playing time as a National. Time with the Marlins at second and at third. So St. Louis is 5-7 this spring. As mentioned, the Nats are 4-6. Tommy Edman, 6 for 23. Patrick Corbin's first pitch at 6:06. Underway with a strike, says Mike Estabrook, who has the plate tonight.
See that bird fly through the pitcher right there? I had a Randy Johnson flashback real quick. There's Mike Estabrook.
Soft contact, straight back it goes.
You know, all the talk is always about Patrick Corbin's slider, one of the best sliders in all of baseball. Had the most swings and misses with it of any pitcher last year, but it's all predicated by his fastball, Carp. You know, you talk to hitters at face, Patrick, you have to respect his plus fastball. And that's what opens up the slider for him. A fastball in, too.
Yeah, it was out over the plate, but it was up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Corbin lifetime after his 14-7 last year, 70 wins, 3.80 the career ERA. A full year the Nats pitchers will have with Paul Menhart this year. There's the slider down and in. Almost hit him. 3-2.
There's 157 strikeouts with that slider. So we had 238 strikeouts last year, 157 with that pitch you're looking at. Good block by Yan Gomes.
And 3-2. Challenge, upstairs it goes, and right up the middle, Castro throws across his body and makes a very fine play. Put him a star on that one.
Yeah, a little starlin by that one. Going on the shortstop side, I believe. Let's see. Oh, right over the bag, put the brakes on, sling it over to first. I always thought the toughest play of the game was the very first hitter. I mean, you have to be ready. You have to be into the game. You have to concentrate. Whenever your first chance is a tough one, it makes the play even better.
Nice stretch by Howie there. So here's Dylan Carlson. 8 hits and an RBI this spring. "21 years of age, from Elk Grove, California. Went to Cal State Fullerton. And more on Patrick Corbin. Last 19 times out after his first 14 starts. Unbeatable. Opponent's batting average, strikeouts, not walking guys. And that's one of the things they like about Carlson. He's a young guy who moves the ball around the ballpark. Tremendous speed. And he's aboard for an old friend of ours, Matt Wieters. Matt Wieters got some pretty significant playing time last year. Played in 67 games, 11 homers, 27 RBIs. He hit more homers than Yadier Molina did, who had 10, and they drove in a collective 84 runs. And Matt got re-signed this year. Andrew Kinzer, one of their other catchers, is in the lineup tonight as a DH. Andrew Kisner.
Matt looks like he's in good shape.
He does. That's the nasty slider. And we marveled during the offseason or postseason watching Patrick against championship caliber ball clubs, FP, and everybody thought they could get to the slider, and it's not there when their bat passes through those hitting zone.
Yeah, that was the slow one. This should be a hard one at his back knee or a fastball up. We'll see where they go here.
Nasty. Brilliant. And that's Patrick Corbin's first strikeout in 3 spring training innings.
Yan Gomes working on things. Deke, the broadcaster there, he asked for a high fastball with his bare hand, and then they throw the slider. So with all the shenanigans that have been going on in baseball, with his bare hand, watch after he gets the sign right here. Give me the fastball up. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And then they go turbo slider at the back knee. A little bit harder than the one before. And when you talk to hitters, Carp, it looks just like a fastball. They can't pick up the rotation.
Next up is big, strong Tyler O'Neill. Will be 25 years of age in June. Tons of power.
It's a big lead.
Will he make contact this year? That's always the big question with him. And after a slight delay, Mike Estabrook called it strike 2. Corbin sharp here early.
He doesn't even work on the slider in his bullpens. He works on the fastball and changeup more because those are, the pitches that he needs to work on. And the slider's just a feel thing. He kind of breaks it out during the game. Threw 1,200 of them last year, so he practiced right around 7 o'clock every night.
Shift on left side of the infield. 0-2 pitch. He shows him the heater upstairs. O'Neill, 2 of his 4 hits this spring, home runs. Nasty down and in. A pitch that helps Corbin dominate right-handed batters. He gets Wieters. He gets O'Neill. Cardinals get a hit and strand a runner. Warm and gorgeous night here in South Florida.
They're like long walks on the beach at sunset, Bob. That one last night with you was amazing.
And I really love it when a long walk takes us right onto one of those yachts that Masson owns. Trey Turner gets the leadoff spot tonight. Andrew Stevenson and Starlin Castro. Andrew's kind of the do-everything guy in spring training. Playing it anywhere in the outfield, pinch run. He just has a way of making good early impressions on everybody. Howie Zim, Yan Gomes, Michael A in there tonight. Nats hitting .232 as a team. And here's the talented. Is he about to be a starter? Again, Carlos Martinez.
At 28 years old, 6 foot 190. Forward 2 last year with a 3.17. You saw the Arsenal fastball slider cutter change.
And that was in 48 games without making a start.
Had a nice outing last time. 3 no-hit innings against the Nats on February 29th at Jupiter.
Mike Schultz. Cardinals didn't do much of anything last year at the trading deadline, and as soon as they didn't do anything, they got red hot to hold off Milwaukee and hold off the Cubs in the NL Central. Beat the Braves in 5, had that amazing first inning at Atlanta in Game 5, and then totally shut down by Nats pitching in that 4-game sweep.
I think you're going to see Trey leading off. You know, there's been talk about Victor Robles and maybe hitting Trey third. I think Davey Martinez started to realize that 1-2 punch with Turner and Eaton, you want those guys at the top. They won your World Series, and why tinker with it, even though you're trying to replace Rendon's bat.
And this one into right. Austin Dean, the former Marlin, for the first out.
There's the Cards defense tonight behind Martinez. O'Neill, Carlson, Dean, the outfield. Edmund Sosa left side, Schrock, Ravello right side, and Cat Wieters doing the catching. You remember when he had his month in the Nats calendar, the Nats pet calendar, he had a cat.
Andrew Stevenson 5 for 16 this spring. He thought that was a fastball. 3 RBIs, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Most of his time last year at the minor league level, but I guess you would call it per capita contributor to the ball club. Didn't have much action to the major league level last year. 30 at bats, 11 hits, did not play after the wild card game. He did get in one game and scored a run. He's been a great pinch hitter. And Andrew's been around so long, we still forget that he's 25 years old. He'll have a birthday 1st of June, but he handles that very tough pinch hitting role like a veteran guy. Two.
He was the pinch runner on Juan Soto's double to right, or single in an error, whatever it was, on the bad hop heard around the world.
Jammed, and it stayed fair. Rangel Ravello for the second out. Beautiful evening, Fit Team Ballpark at the Palm Beaches. Such a great setup now with the Nats down here with the Astros for their 4th years in this ballpark. Cardinals and Marlins up in Jupiter. Mets a little further north in St. Lucie. So pretty much 5 teams within an hour or so of each other. And Starlin looking for his first knock of the spring. A couple of walks, 3 strikeouts, 0 for 11. Uncertain on that, and so on 2.
Better 0 for 11 now than May 26th.
Yep.
He hit some balls hard the last game we broadcast.
Yeah, the wind's blowing out tonight. If anybody can elevate something straight away, it's going to go for a while. This ballpark, as a rule, now that wind is blowing straight to the northeast. As a rule, it comes from the left field pole and goes straight over to right field. Good fastball. Great placement by Martinez, and a very good start for him, as it is for Corbin. A scoreless first. No score here in West Palm Beach. Patrick Corbin out for his second inning of the night, and Nats starters will have another new arm to depend on in the bullpen. That is Will Harris. Hey, Will, welcome to the ball club, buddy. Great to see you, and thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it, guys. Nice to be here.
Born in Houston, you went to LSU. I know you and Andrew Stevenson talk a little college football. I got to ask you, last year when you were actually facing the Nats, getting into the World Series, what was your impression of this Washington ball club, and what did you think of this club that you were facing as you went throughout that 7-game series?
Yeah, I think it was a lineup that had a lot of length to it. A lot of guys that put together very, very difficult at bats. I think in the American League, it can be a little bit different. You can kind of be a little bit black or white, a little bit of free swingers, and more so than when you turn it over to the National League. I think last year the Nationals were a good example of that, and guys that are going to battle you and have very good approaches at the plate and are going to stay within themselves. And as a pitcher, that makes things very, very difficult.
Rangel Ravello hooking one into the left field corner. That'll be the second St. Louis hit, and he'll be at second base with nobody out. Top of the second. And, of course, Will, around our parts now, the at-bat that Howie Kendrick had against you in the World Series when he hit the home run, a big thing. You had gotten him earlier in the series, when you guys match up. Do you still feel like you made a good pitch in that situation and Howie went down and got it? Take us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when you're in the heat of it, I think as professional athletes and competitors, I think we shoulder a lot of the blame for things when they don't go right. But I think that was a situation that was more about what Howie did than what I did. I thought I made some good pitches, you know, the whole series, the whole postseason last year. And, you know, that one was another example of another really good pitch that I made. Like I said, it was just, I think that night I remember saying that he just made a play for his team and was the difference in the game that night. And, you know, so it was more about him than me, and it took me a while to get there mentally, but
understood.
But yeah, he's obviously a great hitter and a great competitor and a really good teammate, and I've enjoyed talking to him so far in camp.
What was that interaction like when you guys first saw each other? And we'll stop asking you about this after this, because we have to.
Hey,
spring training.
It is what it is, man. I knew this coming in. I was well prepared. So yeah, no, it's been great. You know, Howie's a great teammate, and you know, I think he's been in the league obviously for a long time, and I can learn a lot from him. And you know, a guy that obviously had success against me in the biggest moment. I think that's something that I could learn from.
Back-to-back doubles by the Cardinals. Austin Dean giving St. Louis a 1-0 lead.
Well, that's cool. We're glad to have you here, man. You're a tremendous addition to the Nats bullpen. We can't wait to see it during the regular season. How's the abdominal issue going?
It's going well. These guys here, they're taking really, really good care of me and putting a lot of work in, a lot of time in the weight room and in the training room. So just trying to do everything I can each and every day. And since I've started ramping up back throwing, it's been great. And looking forward to them allowing me to take the training wheels off here in the next day or two and start to really prepare for the season. But I think we're onto something really good right now, and I think I'll be better for it, not just this year, but hopefully in the future, my whole 3 years here with the organization.
Andrew Kisner, the DH for St. Louis. Thinking about the core that you have joined, Will, in the Nats bullpen. I mean, Daniel Hudson came up so big for the Nats, and everybody's happy he's back. Sean Doolittle, really the bullpen hero of the entire 2019 season. What's it been like for you to get to know those guys after facing them?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, me and Huddy go back to time in Arizona, so I was very familiar with him. Played against Sean in the AL West for years, so was very aware of what he brings to the table. So that sounded kind of loud.
Yeah, that's real loud, and that's real far. Kisner loses one up on the berm. We mentioned the breeze. I mean, he hit that ball really well. That was a no-doubter, and just like that, double-double homer. Cardinals 3, Nationals nothing.
Well, we'll talk about spring training for a veteran guy like Patrick Corbin. You're a veteran yourself. I mean, obviously there's always pride when you take the mound, no matter what the situation. But does something like that bother you right now on, what is it, March 5th?
No, I mean, I think I'm competitive in this, yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure right now he's just kind of going through his mind and trying to feel like what he felt right there. And, you know, if it wasn't something he didn't execute, then he's going to try and execute it better here this inning. So, you know, early in spring training, in general, I think, guys, it's just all about the feeling, you know, feeling your mechanics, feeling the ball come out of your hand. And it's a little bit more difficult this early to repeat it over and over again. So, you know, he's going to figure it out and make an adjustment here. And if it's not today, it'll be tomorrow or the next day.
And, Will, you know, you're new here, obviously, but you don't know there's been a history with the Washington Nationals and their bullpen. It's been an issue from time to time and was early in the season last year. It looks a lot better this year. How good can you guys be?
Yeah, when you look around, I think we have a lot of guys that bring a lot of different things, and I've kind of always said that even back to my Arizona days, we had some really good bullpens there, and my time in Houston, we had some really good bullpens, and I think it's a matter of guys bringing a lot of different things to the table and not being just a cookie cutter, everybody, you know, throwing the same. And so when you look around, there's not two guys that really do a lot of the same thing. And I think that's good. It gives Davey a nice variety, and I think that allows us to mix and match better for the different circumstances and situations that are going to come up over 162 games.
You always hear, back in the day, you'd always hear, you know, I didn't know what my role is. It seems like today outs are outs and guys are starting to buy into whatever inning they pitch. Is your bullpen like that? It seemed last year that Hudson didn't care if he was closing. Doolittle didn't care if he was closing. They just wanted to be in there and get the curly W at the end of the day. How hard is it as a reliever to adjust and to not know what inning you're going to pitch on a given night?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it can be and it can't be all at the same time. I think if you have a manager that you know communicates that, then you know what to expect. If you're expecting to not know what's going to happen, then that makes it a little bit easier. You stay ready. So yeah, I think there's guys in general, just, you know, like all relievers, all pitchers, all players, just want to be kind of put in situations where you can be successful and maximize what it is you do well. So I think, you know, we have a lot of guys that bring a lot of different things to the table, and it's going to be fun to see how Davey, you know, slices it up.
Well, Will, we look forward to watching you work this year. 60 appearances or more for the last 5 seasons. We'll take 60 or so from you this year, and best of luck with your new ball club, and we're really glad you're a National.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
35-year-old Will Harris, newest Nats bullpen guy, as mentioned, born in Houston, ended up with the Astros after the Rockies drafted him out of LSU, went to high school in his hometown of Slidell, Louisiana, and good stuff. I know somebody mentioned how well-spoken he was on MLB the other day, and here he is with us.
Pro on the bullpen, pro on the air.
Number 9 hitter for St. Louis now is Edmundo Sosa, the third baseman.
He's telling whoever right now, FP's not a big idiot as you said he was. Those were good questions.
Your ability to read lips has amazed me for the better part of 10 years.
Incredible.
There's a good slider by Corbin for his third strikeout, and that's the first out here in the second.
Well, you remember last year, the first inning was Patrick Corbin's bugaboo, right? He had the trouble finding the strike zone. So you saw the first inning today, you know, a couple of Ks. And then the second inning, all of a sudden, working on things, not a big deal, just like Will Harris said. But that was a nice slider.
Top of the order now, Tommy Edman. Castro, who is shaded well up the middle here, took a hit away from him, straight up the second base way, first time up. Talking to some of the Cardinal guys this afternoon, their big question as far as their lineup goes, they got a lot of young talent. Edman, really impressive last year. Dylan Carlson on the way someday soon. Who's going to protect Paul Goldschmidt in this lineup?
If you're good enough, you protect yourself. And I think he is.
He's really good, and he had a dramatic influence. They went from bottom of the league to top of the league in defense last year with Goldschmidt over there at first. Carter Keyboom on the run to Howie Kendrick, 2 down. Runner stays actually into second, Max Schrock.
Well, we talked about the adjustment last broadcast from short to third, but he's made this play at short a lot, right? The field off the left, throw off the right. The momentum taking him toward the target at first base. Just need reps, man. The more chances you can get down here when it doesn't count, the better. And you remember Anthony Rendon at third in a Patrick Corbin start. He'd get a lot of chances with the slider into righties. So as a third baseman going into the game, you realize that, all right, Corbin's on the mound, sliders into righties. I'm going to get some chances tonight.
Carlson base hit the other way first time. Howie well off the line at first, about 30 feet worth. And Corbin close, but missing inside, 1-1. Dylan Carlson was a #1 draft pick when he was just out of high school. .260 minor league career average, .350 the on-base percentage. Snap throw to second, nobody at the bag, and Castro played on a hop.
Two new teammates maybe crossed up there on a pickoff sign.
Come on, Dylan, you got it. Good eye.
Outfield straightaway, 3-1. Deep in left is Soto. And this one for Trey Turner. Nice big hop at the end. Corbin comes back to get the last 3 hitters, and here's Juan Soto. He'll be leading off in a moment. Juan Soto is 20 years old at this time last year, and then into October, FP, not only the home runs, but the list of the pitchers who he took out of the yard.
Ryu, Kershaw, Cole, Verlander. Watch this one. This is a bomb. That was the answer to Alex Bregman carrying his bat to first base. Juan carried his and said, anything you can do, we can do better. Do they do this again this year? They got to, right? They got to dance in the dugout. There you go. There's the A-listers.
Unbelievable. At his age, what he did, and really what he did the year before as well, but this time on the biggest stage in baseball. 9 for 27 during the World Series with 3 homers and 7 batted in. If Strasburg doesn't win the MVP, Soto probably would have been that with his bat. Steven was so brilliant, so dominant.
He put on a laser show in the backfield in batting practice today. Carp hitting bombs the other way, straightaway center field, and the trajectory of the home runs were low-line drives the other way.
Oh, my. Wynn's got a hold of that one. It'll be up against the wall. That thing had so much topspin on it. It just couldn't stay up to get out of here. And Juan Soto now 4 for 11 this spring.
In the home runs, you know, when you hit an opposite field home run as a left-handed hitter, they're usually high drives. He was hitting the low-line drives with about a 20-degree launch angle to left center in batting practice today. So there's the first knock of the night for the Nats. There goes the no-hitter, a double by Juan Soto. A little topspin action would be in the bullpen or on the knoll. He can hit. What a pretty swing.
Yeah, still younger than his uniform number. Here's Howie. Howie has 4 hits, 2 RBIs down here.
Right now, veteran guy, he's going to work on advancing Juan Soto to third here. Take this at-bat and make it a situational at-bat, just like you would during the season. Maybe early in the game you'd think about driving him into right center, but this is where you work on it.
That ball pulled on a couple of hops. Tommy Edman. Soto has to stay, 1 out. Well, the world champs are ready to get things geared up again. Single game tickets now on sale. Show your Natitude. Yeah, Natitude's back. Get your tickets at nationals.com/ticket finder. Waiting forever, along with his organization, his franchise, his city, the entire DMV, Ryan Zimmerman. And he made the most of his opportunities as well. 5 World Series hits, a homer, couple of RBIs. And Soto, who is 2 for 2, running, and he is out by a pretty good margin at third. Matt Wieters guns him down, 2 outs.
Well, hey, this is where you work on it. I was just thinking, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, do not get hurt, please don't get hurt, and he's not hurt, so who cares? Is it bad that I was thinking that every step?
Well, we talked about this last week. I think when we signed on last Friday, when the Nats took on the Rays, they hadn't even attempted a stolen base so far. So they've stolen 3 in 6 attempts now. And Soto has 2 of those.
Well, even though Bob Henley's at first, I'm blaming that on him. Bob Henley, the first base coach. And somehow he had something to do with that. I'm just going with that.
0-2 to Zimmerman. So a pretty good roll call for Ryan as well. So glad this happened for him, this stage of his career. 9th active with over 1,000 RBIs. Franchise leader in that and with the home runs. Embarking on his 15th full big league season. We wish there were fewer injuries along the way because his numbers would be staggering at this point. But I think what Ryan was able to experience with his teammates last October made up for a lot of that. Reaches out and tries to drop one into right. Austin Dean on the run. Soto leadoff double. 3 batters up, 2 down, and then the out because of the caught steal. Beautiful night. St. Louis all the runs so far. 3-4-0 Cards. 0-1-0 Nats. And now it's Tanner Rainey's turn to join us. Tanner, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And we could tell toward the end of the season last year that Davey was trusting you more and more in crucial high leverage situations that carried over into the postseason. So when did the learning experience stop last year, or did it ever in your first full big league season?
Honestly, I don't think that'll ever stop. I think, as long as I play the game, I think learning is still part of it.
And Tanner, talk about, the learning experience and the value of pitching such big innings in such big postseason games.
Definitely getting that experience of having the ball in those spots will help going forward. But, bigger than that, I think having the veterans around that we have, that's been a big part of my career.
What's the most they've taught you? What's the thing that you take away the most from being around a Doolittle or a Hudson down there as a younger pitcher in the bullpen?
Oh, just how to go about it every day. Be ready whenever the ball is given to you. And, no matter what happens on one day, you got to be able to move on to the next.
52 appearances during the regular season. After just 8 with the Reds the year before. At this time a year ago, we were aware of you. We were watching you work some spring training games, and we knew what a powerful arsenal you had. How were you able to take that into the regular season and then maybe make it as far as you could into October? Because, we saw a young pitcher with a ton of talent, but you were probably a little raw, as they say at this time a year ago. Tanner, how do you get more polished over time?
It's the same thing. I mean, like I said, it's always a learning process. When I left spring last year going into Fresno, there were some things I was still working on that I still work on now. But having the chance to work with some pitching coaches and get different opinions and see what's really going on in my head and theirs, I think being able to work with all those guys really helped.
Nats in a shift on the right, actually left side against Tyler O'Neill, the right-handed batter. And now Patrick Corbin, after the 3 hits and the walk last inning. Strikeout, 3 grounders, now another strikeout, 2 down. Tanner Rainey with us. Tanner, anything in particular that you have come to spring training to work on this year?
It's the same thing as always. Obviously, the walks were high last year. They've been high every year of my career. So, as long as I continue to improve on that, I think that'll help. And that's usually the focus coming in.
And talk about, Tanner, a guy like Yan Gomes back there. You throw a hard slider, hard curveball. I know everyone's talking about what it is. Whatever it is, it's hard and straight down. The luxury of having a guy like Yan back there to block it, talk about having him and throwing to guys like him and Kurt Suzuki.
Oh, having those 2 guys are unbelievable. Both of them are really smart and know the game. They understand it, and they kind of help me get through innings at times when maybe I don't have the best stuff. But both those guys work as hard as they possibly can to be better back there, and it's unbelievable being able to throw those 2.
Hey, Tanner, we wish you a great 2020. We keep acquiring guys from Louisiana on this team. You go along with Will Harris and Stevenson now. So what's going on with all you guys from L.A. down there?
It's nice to have a few guys from back home to talk to every now and then. Obviously, Stevie was here last year, so this year we got Will now, so added 1 more.
All right. Crawfish boil soon, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Thanks, Tanner.
Thank y'all.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Rangel Ravello. He got them started last inning, hooking that leadoff double into the left field corner.
Future's so bright for that kid.
I mean,
overpowering fastball.
That was the Tanner for Tanner deal. Roark for Rainey. December 12th, 2018, engineered by Mike Rizzo. Originally drafted by the Reds in the 2nd round back in 15 out of the University of West Alabama. Corbin really pulling out the slow stuff. Couple of fantastic changeups this inning.
Big slow curveball right there.
So after going 2 innings in his debut, about to get 3 in tonight with a long 2nd inning. That was 25 pitches in that 2nd. Swing and a miss. 82 for the K. A lot of off speed. That's the Patrick Corbin we watched almost all of 2019.
It's 87 degrees here. The high today was 91. That's spring training tickets are on sale now. That's how you ad-lib a promo. I really don't need to tell you anymore. You get a chance, man. We've been talking about it. That kid's happy. We're happy. This place is incredible. Everyone did such an amazing job with this facility in this town. There's so much to do in Palm Beach. This is my 13th spring training in West Palm Beach. I love it down here.
What was the old ballpark like when you were with the Expos here?
It was on Hank Aaron Drive. It's still there. It's a Home Depot now on Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard. West Palm Beach Municipal Stadium.
Yeah, Braves were here too.
Yeah, shared it with the Braves. Got to know those guys over the years. They all have some cold ones after spring training games all the time.
Yeah, they were in the West back then. Swing and a miss on that big Martinez slide piece. Carter Keyboom 3 for 14, 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Davey saying the other day in a broadcast interview that it is his job to lose here.
Oh.
Is Carlos Martinez walking around with something going on?
It was either a bug or a flashback.
Okay.
One or the other.
Cardinal fans are like, no more of that. Keyboom, nice swing, trying to take that the other way. Up the middle, races on, cutting it off. Edman, fine play for the out.
I think the key with a 21-year-old like Carter Keyboom, I mean, nice play right here by Edman. Go up the middle. Guy can play anywhere. I like those kind of guys. But for Carter Keyboom, Carp, when you're 21 years old, you're trying to win a big league job. I think the key is not to be too hard on yourself. The expectations are so high, you're so young that, you know, if you have a rough day or you make a rough play, to be able to turn the page. A lot of times as a player, you know, it takes you a while to learn that trait, to not take your at-bat into the field and not be too tough on yourself when you have a rough day. We've seen some exceptions to those rules over the year. Juan Soto, Bryce was hard on himself when he was 19 and 20 coming up when he had a bad day. So I think with experience and with reps that you start to feel more a part of it, and he's going to be a good player. I don't know if it's going to be right now. We'll see how this whole thing works out. I know Davey Martinez is hoping that that's his third baseman for opening day. And we are too, because we really like the kid and we're rooting for him.
Yeah, it's a big thing for this ball club. Anthony Rendon departs with a .290 average, 136 homers, 546 RBIs in 7 wonderful years. Get to see him when the Nats play the Angels this year. Martinez with some nasty action down and away to strike out Yan Gomes. That'll be his second swinging strikeout. And he's trying to face the minimum of 9 batters through 3. Michael A. Taylor is next.
But you think about it, it's hard to think back when we were 21 because it was so long ago, but can you imagine filling in for a guy like Anthony Rendon and trying to replace those shoes?
Yeah.
Not just Rendon, but on a World Series defending championship team. That's a lot for a veteran guy. Say you're 30 and you're coming over and doing that. That's a lot to ask. So hopefully he figures it out and he gets it done, and the rest, as they say, is history.
High chopper. Right there was Sosa. And for the Cardinals, Martinez looking good. 1 double. A rope by Soto, pardon me, given up in 3 full innings.
We like that new rip the pages thing. We're wearing it out. Patrick Corbin today, 3 innings, 3 runs on 4 hits. Getting his work done. So he had 5 strikeouts, walked 1, threw 53 pitches, 35 of those for strikes. The slider was nasty. We know that. So some good pitches today, got his work done, and now he can go home and play on the best backyard miniature golf course you've ever seen in your life.
0-3-0 the Cardinal line score. So Patrick Corbin, 53 pitches, 35 strikes through his 3. Looked really good on the bookends of that appearance, first and third innings. There's Javi Guerra, 34 years of age, who pitched in 40 games out of the Nats bullpen last year. 54 innings total. 42 and 12, the strikeout to walk numbers. There's Austin Dean. And Javi's been bringing it down here. It's been coming out mid to high 90s.
Oh, it's just a great story last year. The Nats DFA'd him. He went and told everybody the day he got DFA'd, go get that ring, boys. Then, you know, because he's such a good teammate, such a nice guy, such a good pitcher, and such a professional, there was some injuries. I think it was Tony Sipp that got hurt, and he was still around, and they said, come on back. And the rest is history. He's got a ring. He's a world champ, and here he is again.
He told his guys to get that ring, and then he helped earn one himself. I don't think it took Mike Rizzo long to make that decision on Javi Guerra. What a great presence in the bullpen, in the clubhouse, and with the club.
So, I mean, the lesson there is when you get fired, do not tell your boss what he can go do. Be nice to him, shake his hand, tell him thank you for hiring me. It was a pleasure to work here, and maybe, just maybe, you'll get a promotion and a raise. Always take the high road, Carl.
Yeah.
Be a pro.
Okay.
don't burn bridges, so to speak.
1-2, nobody out. Man, that thing came sizzling in.
It's a good pitch.
Sounded and looked harder than 94. Close to the hands.
Good frame by Yan Gomes to make it look even better. ...26-man roster this year, so you'd think there'd be an extra bullpen arm. Javi, a non-roster invite, trying to make the club.
He had a good World Series. Didn't pitch in any of the previous playoff series. A couple of games, 3 innings, 6 hits, but only 1 run given up. To his left. Big hops for Trey Turner. Howie, good stretch. First out, 4th inning.
All right, we're celebrating the 2019 World Series forever, but Champions Week will start the season up at the ballpark. So there's the ring presentation, Champions Day, Davey Martinez World Series bobblehead, which Dan Coco broke at a winter function this year. Grab your tickets April 4th and 5th against the Mets. The 6th and 8th through the Marlins are coming to town. Go to Nationals.com. That's going to be great. There'll be gold trims on the unis, you're thinking, because every defending champ has that for the first series. The ring ceremony. It's going to be great.
This one from Kisner, high in the air, right field. Drawing a bead on it. Fair ball when caught by Andrew Stevenson.
So do we officially have to turn the page after that first series at home?
I don't know.
Because, everybody says wait till next year. That's everybody's motto, right? I want to wait till last year. And I'm having trouble turning the page.
You want to go back to the future?
Yeah, so once they get their rings and we have the banner unveiled, do we all have to officially turn the page to 2020, or can I be stuck in 2019 still? I'm asking you as a veteran.
I'm telling you to do your job and don't forget what happened last year.
Okay.
In that order.
The first part will be hard, and the second part.
Shift on for Max Schrock. Spring training invite. And he's done well so far. 5 for 18, an RBI, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. On a good rip at 0-2.
See, he wants that one back.
Close. Javi was heading for the dugout.
It's a good take. I thought this was a strike all the way. Watch it fade out of the zone real late. It's a little bit low. Yan Gomes liked where he put it.
He made an offer at that one. That's a swing, and this inning is over. 1-2-3 for Javi Guerra. Turner, Stevenson, Castro, and some Trey heroics straight ahead. Turner, left field, high in the air, deep, see you later! It's a grand slam!
And the biggest dance party of the 2019 season is about to happen right now. Unbelievable.
Well, that's when the Nats turned into the Eliminators. They took care of the Phillies that game, clinched later, and then took care of Cleveland in the last weekend of the season, which was kind of odd with the AL Central coming to visit. And then, of course, Milwaukee, L.A., St. Louis, Houston. 6 teams eliminated by the Nats.
That was the first of 5 champagne celebrations that night. It's the most legally allowed by MLB.
Right on the hands of Trey Turner. Fly ball to right first time up. You know, but going back to the conversation you started about him leading off first time he came up, FP, there's no doubt about it. This is a different offense. It's a different ball club when Trey Turner simply gets on base.
Oh.
That'll be up the middle. Schrock was playing that way. Ravello picks it at first, 1 out.
Oh, you're right. It's a great point. A game changer. And then you got Adam Eaton and his fire hitting right behind him and all the things he can do offensively. So the 1-2 punch is something Davey doesn't want to mess with, I don't think. But you talk, getting back to those champagne celebrations, Carpet, all the talk around town that day was, do you think they should have celebrated just because they got one more game to the wild card? And, you know, if you've ever been a part of a 162 game campaign and you've come from 19-31 to get that extra game and all they had to do to persevere to get to that point, we saw how it all ended. So the answer to all those people that didn't think they should have had a champagne celebration is yes, they should have. And they always should. And now you see why they did.
Yeah.
End of story. Forever.
Well, everybody has their opinions.
Some are good.
Love this kid's swing.
Nice swing right up the middle. Baseball player, man. I love this kid. The more we watch him play, the more there is to love.
One of the best young men we've ever had on this team. There's Starlin Castro now, struck out swinging first time. He doesn't go the other way a lot. Big hole right side with Schrock way up the middle. And that will be a 6-4 close 3. Nats get a hit. And the double play ball sends this one into the 5th inning. Nats built for our youngest and most energetic Nats fans, ages 4 through 12. It's the Nats Kids Club. Get access to member-only offers, exclusive giveaways, and our 2nd annual Kids Eat Free program. Register today, nationals.com/juniornats, JRNATS. Crawl yourself to a great time in 2020. Well, they're not booing him, they're doing him, and here's Sean Doolittle. Nats 33-year-old lefty. Unbelievable year last year with everything he had to deal with. 63 games, finished 55 times. I mean, there was a point in the season, FP, when he had appeared in about 40% of the Nats games until finally he got some of the rest he needed and some of the reset he needed late in the season.
You know, and of all the Nats that they all enjoyed, obviously, their October run, it seemed like Sean had the perspective and the wherewithal to soak it all in at the moment. I think of all the guys, he was just enjoying that ride more than anybody. He's been working on his slider a lot down here. You know about the fastball elevated. We've seen it over the years, and the changeup. But he's really been working on the slider to complement those 3. And he threw a lot of them, if I remember right, in the World Series.
Edmundo Sosa struck out swinging. He was the 3rd of Corbin's 5 strikeouts. Nice job of going the other way. Stevenson trying to hold him to a single. He is going to pull up on a very good play by the Nats right fielder. Nice swing. Nice play defensively. Tommy Edman, 3rd time up. Couple of grounders. He's 0 for 2.
I think the thing I'll always remember, too, about Sean in 2019 is his selfless nature, saying, I don't care if I close. Now, how many times do you find a guy like that in baseball today?
Yeah.
I just want to win.
Yeah.
Huddy can close. I'll do whatever they ask. I'll close. I don't care.
And then Hudson showed up and said the exact same thing. Boom respecting Edmonds' speed just behind the baseline at third, and it doesn't matter where anybody's playing on that thing. That's up to the Houston Astros offices, and on their second home run of the night, the Cardinals lead 5-0. That's Edmonds' first of the spring.
That was a far tater. Fastball up, he got on top of it. Powerful swing from the Cardinals utility player. Up on the concourse, one hop on the building. Davey taking it easy with his relievers, kind of, they pitched deep into October, gave him everything they had, especially, Doolittle and Hudson. I think that's always a concern, Carp, right? When you pitch to the last day possible this season, October 30th, that the following year you give the guys enough rest that they need and let them, as veterans, ease their own way back into it however they want.
Yep.
Communication, the key.
Carlson's pulled it once for a grounder, gone the other way once for a base hit. Cardinals have now hit 18 home runs this spring. Nats really haven't given up very many, 8, including the 2 tonight. 3-0 is in there. Three in a row aboard for St. Louis here in the 5th.
I mean, I've said this a million times about closers in spring training. It's hard to replicate the adrenaline you're going to get during the season. Remember Drew Storn used to come down here and get lit up every year, and then opening day he'd be fine because he'd have the responsibility of saving a win for 24 guys on his shoulder in front of 40,000 people. They're all adrenaline junkies. They love that. It's hard to get up for these and to get that same sweat going and that same feeling going that you get during the season. So you go out there, you try to work on things and get your work in, basically. And the results will start mattering in maybe a week or so, I think. What are we, 3 weeks from opening day today? That's what I was told.
Correct. High heater, 1-1. Well, I remember when I was a kid, every year, spring training. What's wrong with Bob Gibson? He's getting killed down in St. Petersburg. Bob Gibson would go to spring training and just throw fastballs just to build his arm strength. I don't think the guys had anywhere near the off-season programs they do now. And that was still a time in the 60s into the 70s when guys would come to spring training not ready, and they would use that time, and all of a sudden the opening day comes and here comes the fastball and the slider, and nobody's worried about Gibson or some of the other veteran guys around the league. The epitome of working on something and getting strength in spring training and not worrying at all about results.
And you really can't worry about results during the season either. You worry about the process, go out there and make your pitches and put up zeros. But during the season, whatever it takes on that given day to get outs.
Yep. Every day's different, isn't it?
Yep. 1-2
to Wieters, who has struck out and grounded to third. And Sean Doolittle throws it right by him for his first strikeout. Bunch of Ks tonight, 7 by Nationals pitching. Tyler O'Neill, couple of swinging strikeouts tonight. Both of those against Patrick Corbin. Tried to stop, couldn't. Might have been a called strike anyway.
Yeah, I did.
That one hooking left field corner. Fair. Long run for Juan Soto to the 335 mark. Pop Warner's going to send the runner. Throw skips away from Trey Turner, and it's 6-0.
Yeah, slider, he just kind of dug it out. Watch it. Kind of rolls in there, down and in, and then he picks it off the dirt. Good swing. And then all of a sudden, cutoffs and relays happen. You work on these in spring training. First throw short hops, Trey Turner, and then that's that.
Rangel Ravello. 29 games at the big league level last year. Andrew Stevenson. Towering fly ball. He's got it. Runner stays. 2 down. Austin Dean RBI double the other way. Ground ball to short.
Key is to build up and be ready for March 26th. That's it. That's all that matters.
And I've thought about this on a number of occasions. We have heard over and over again the numbers 19 and 31, how the Nats started last year. Without Sean Doolittle, who was totally overworked during that time, who knows what that record might have been. It might have been 15 and 35. It might have been worse than that.
Got it. Really, really, really close there. Really, really, really close.
Yeah, I remember a game at Citi Field when it was at its worst. And Sean Doolittle had pitched a number of games in a row, and he was just spent, and he gave up a save. And this is big boy baseball, right? Hey, if you get lit up, whatever, you know, chin up, big boy, let's go get it tomorrow. That was one of the first times as a broadcaster on air I felt sympathy for a guy. Just the look on his face, and when he took his hat off and he was squatting behind the mound.
Yeah.
You were just like, this guy has been used a lot, and you felt for him. But October 30th happened, and everybody forgot about that.
Juan Soto leading off. Bottom 5 straight ahead. He's a cover boy, too. More on that in a minute.
Nobody cares about the score. It's spring trading, but he doesn't want to see it. It's a sweet glove. Wilson. Major League Baseball is always live with MLB app. Follow the Nats with game tracking, video highlights, along with up-to-the-moment stats, standings, and news. Get the #1 app for live baseball. Download MLB today. Here's my password. Here's my login. No, I can't give that to you.
Here's Juan Soto. Hit a ball hard enough for a homer first time, and had such severe topspin on it. It dove over the head of Austin Dean, one hop the wall. He was caught trying to steal third for the second out. I mentioned Juan's a cover boy. I had a chance to read last week an advanced copy of Jesse Doherty's new book, chronicling the Nats World Series run. Jesse, of course, one of our beat writers from the Washington Post. It's called Buzzsaw, part of a Steven Strasburg postseason quote, and it'll be available March 24th. It's a great read. A lot of cool stuff about the guys you talked about, Sean Doolittle and Daniel Hudson, some of the travails of the bullpen and how they were able to gather it in. And it's a great read. If you're a Nats fan, you got to pick it up. March 24th, it's called Buzzsaw.
And you already read it.
Already read it.
So you're a big deal, and you got one early.
No, he just
gave you one?
We did a little fact checking.
Oh. Does it pass?
It does now.
Does it have pictures in it? Because
my copy did not.
Well, then
I think when it comes out, it will.
It's got to have a lot of pictures, or I'm not going to read it.
It's got a couple of pages you can color toward the back.
Chip's trying to get us back on track with stats.
I mean, Soto, amazing, huh?
Yeah, and the Beatles broke up. We know he had a good postseason. I think, here's a two-strike approach. He was working on this today in spring training. Spreading out, choking up, hitting bombs the other way.
Yeah, where do you pitch this guy when he's locked in? They're going to go inside edge. And he'll pull it off the glove of Ravello. Juan Soto's 2 for 2. He's thinking 2 bags. Austin Dean not able to get to it in time, and Juan Soto has 5 spring training knocks and 2 of them tonight. Double all the way.
Double first time up, double second time up. And he's the kind of guy that doesn't need to save him for the season because he can flat out hit. Good effort right here. The ball just kind of had some top spin action to it. Soto hustling all the way to first allowed him to get into second with a hustle double. So 22 is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. It's a lot of synergy right there. Howie Kendrick to short first time. Tommy Edman threw him out. Well, Martinez in his 5th inning of work, really getting things stretched out here. Held on to that one too long, but he's had some quick innings tonight. So he's 2 short of 50. Patrick Corbin threw 53 pitches in 3 innings, 35 strikes. Top spin off the glove of Sosa, and he recovers to throw out Howie. And that's fine. We don't want Howie going crazy down the line. We saw him pull a hammy early in spring training last year. Let's take another look back at Ryan Zimmerman, some of his swings in postseason. Well, that was in the wild card game. Michael A. Taylor would get hit by a pitch. Zim broken bat. Juan Soto with a knock. That was game 4 NLDS. That's in the World Series. Game 1 off Garrett Cole. So a World Series tater to the resume. And the cool thing about it is every round the Nats advanced, they would have a team party. He was lucky enough to be at all of them. And Davey Martinez would defer to Ryan Zimmerman and say, Mr. DC, you're doing the toast. So he did all the toast throughout the whole thing, and it became kind of a behind-the-scenes tradition. And I don't want to tell you what they were, but they were amazing, all of them.
Fly ball to right off the bat of Ryan, first time up. The last time Ryan Zimmerman played what you would consider a full season of baseball was 2013. And even that year, 147 games. Hamstring got him in April. But his production, when he's healthy and when he's available to any Nats manager through his entire 15-year career, it's just been amazing how productive he is.
Well, the game 4 homer, Carp, to put that one on ice to get it back to LA against the Dodgers, that ball was in the air for 20 minutes.
Seemed like it, yeah.
As soon as he touched it, it had the sound, but we were all, I mean, everybody in attendance that night remembers it. It was like a helium ball. We were all, for a good 10 seconds. Finally came down. We lost our minds, got on the plane, and went and beat the Dodgers in L.A.
2-1. Gentleman Zim.
Wasn't even starting at the beginning of the postseason. Then his bat got him in the lineup, and he got some huge hits.
4 hits in the division series, 4 more in the LCS. 5 hits, a homer, 2 RBIs in the Fall Classic. That's hard hit. Hit off the mound. That gave Max Schrock a nice big hop. Over to third, Soto on the second out.
Good swing, good at bat. Perfect. Hit it on the barrel. Professional spring at bat here. Little ricochet off the side of the mound. Is Carlos Martinez upset that he didn't catch that? That would have been a tough play.
Keyboom hit the ball sharply up the middle. Good play by Tommy Edman. Took a hit away. This one right at Edman. So the Nats unable to score through 5 on 3 hits. 2 of them, 1 Soto doubles. Big night on the berm. And through 5, it's all Cardinals. 6-7-0 St. Louis, 0-3-0 Washington. Traded by the Twins to the Nationals for minor leaguer Hunter McMahon is 30-year-old Clarksville, Tennessee native Ryan Harper, originally drafted by the Braves out of Austin Peay. And so far in the spring, 3 appearances with a hit and a run over 3 innings of work. He was in 61 games out of the Minnesota bullpen last year. 3.81 ERA. 50 strikeouts and 10 walks.
Excuse me, Carp. 2 pitches, fastball, curve. Fastball average 89 last year. Curve is a slow one at 60. And if he would have decided to get number 34, he would have a lot of different names on the back of his jersey.
Yeah, there were some fans. I saw him on Twitter a couple months ago. Give this guy 34. Left side, Keyboom, smoothly to his left.
Nice play going to his left. Good throw right on the money. See him give with the hops there. Get a nice one.
And now in a shift, Trey Turner will stay home and Keyboom will go to the right of second base for Max Schrock, who has walked and struck out swinging. Kind of a little herky-jerky from the right side on the delivery there. Curveball for a strike. That's a great swing. Schrock on for the second time.
All right, the Nats call West Palm Beach their Florida spring home. We know that. Escape the D.C. weather. Join your squad in West Palm Beach. Discover all the Palm Beaches. There's like 10 of them. There's all kinds of stuff to do. The fish are biting in the Atlantic, it says right here. Is there sharks and baby sharks and daddy sharks in the Atlantic? I don't know. Plan your getaway now at nationals.com/spring.
When's the first shark sighting in Japan?
Yeah. Overseas shark.
Sosa, base hit to right last time. Similar approach there. Foul ball off to the right. Castro well up the middle. Outfield a bit the other way. In fact, all three of them. In the air to center. Michael A. Taylor. 2 outs. Top of the order, Tommy Edman, his 4th at bat.
And Ryan's first day as the Nat, he said he wanted to bring another title to DC.
Do we have a Broad Street?
Saw Bryce the other day hit a ball on the freeway for the Phillies. Little toe tap action going.
Yeah, that one got a lot of play.
He's going to have a big year.
So Tommy Edman switches to the left side of the plate. Quite a rookie year last year. 6th rounder back in 2016 out of Stanford. National Merit Scholar at Stanford. Oh, 1 with 2 outs. You can hear it hit the shin guard on the inside of Jan Gomes' right leg, and down to second base, Max Schrock.
All right, Tommy. Find that pitch and put it out there.
Maybe getting used to the arsenal of Ryan Harper, because there's nobody better at blocking baseballs than Jan Gomes.
Yeah, something we don't talk about often. The number of different pitchers catchers have to work with during spring training.
How about all the signs they had to learn during the World Series this year? The Nats catchers changing them up all the time, getting to the ballpark probably before noon, I think, for an 8 o'clock start.
Off the pitcher's glove and through to center anyway. Schrock around to score. And Tommy Edman has his 3rd RBI of the night. It's 7-0.
Loud sound here. And thank goodness Ryan Harper's okay. He almost ran right into that one on his follow-through.
Yeah, loud sound off the leather, too. Next up is Dylan Carlson. That's a high chopper for Castro. St. Louis picks up another. Gomes, Taylor, and Turner ahead for the Nats. Down by 7 now.
All right, there's a game summary. Carlos Martinez got his work in. So did Patrick Corbin. Juan Soto really getting his work done tonight. A couple of doubles. So rip the pages, boys. There it is. 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Number 22. That was a loud one. One hop the fence in right, hustling to second base. That was his first time up in the second, and this is in the 4th inning, a hustle double. So have a little fun. Little baby shark back to the dugout. Maybe daddy shark on a double. I forget how it goes.
Nets come up bottom of the 6th inning. 8, 9, and 1 due up. Next up for St. Louis, 22-year-old lefty from Selma, Indiana, Zach Thompson, originally drafted by Tampa Bay out of high school, and then the Cardinals out of the University of Kentucky, pitched 3 years for the Wildcats. 16 collegiate wins in about 200 innings, and 1 year at the professional level for several clubs last year. Rookie ball here in the Gulf Coast League, and then the Florida State League with the Palm Beach Ball Club. And here's Yan Gomes, who struck out swinging first time up. Thanks to Carlos Martinez, only given up 3 hits in 5 innings. 2 Nats are just now getting their second at bats.
A fastball, slider, curveball, plus curveball, and a changeup.
One hopper. 1 out. Single game tickets, another reminder, on sale. Get your tickets at nationals.com/ticket finder. On the road for the first week in New York and Miami. And then right home. First homestand, Mets for 3, Marlins for 3. And then a very bizarre schedule kicks in where the Nats go to the West Coast like 3 times in the next month after that. Softly to the other side, Taylor retired, 2 down.
But looking like if everything goes the way it's planned, another Scherzer DeGrom opening day. I am so in because I'm wearing makeup and I don't have to hit.
I'm still lobbying for you to get into that Nationals versus the minor league stars here on Masson the Tuesday before the season starts.
No.
I'm pledging money to the Nationals Dream Foundation to see you in uniform for that.
What, $20?
Oh, I'd go a lot higher than that.
I couldn't play when I played. Now I'm 53 and I'm going to play. Just went to University of Miami. They wanted me to play in their alumni game. I said no. I was terrible when I played. What do you think I look like now?
You were good there. 2-0. Trey Turner, fly ball to right, ground ball to second. Healthy hack. It's kind of hack you like to see from a guy on 2-0.
Does he still have his index finger off the bat? I haven't been paying attention.
Looks like he's got a... It's on and then it's off. I mean, he's trying to figure it out, right? 2-2.
Maybe there's a certain comfort to the way he held it. You know, you want loose hands at the plate. You get tight hands, you're squeezing sawdust out of the bat. It makes for tense muscles and a slow swing. And all of his power is generated from the whip he gets.
Called out on strikes, and then a hug from the backup catcher. Through 6, Nats bats are quiet tonight.
All right, 7-0 Cardinals, but let's go down memory lane once again. There's Daniel Hudson. Remember him? Just a couple of big outs and a couple of big games in October. First, we'll show you some highlights of Huddy in the NLCS. Rip the pages. We love that, don't we? But you also love chucking your glove when you get the last out. I love the way Victor Robles does that thing there at the end. Chuck it, Huddy. So at Nats Park, pull the stage into center field. Cue the bumpy roads lead to beautiful places after everybody loses their mind for a couple of minutes. What a night at the ballpark. One of my favorite of all times.
Well, and finally a clincher at home.
And then game 7, remember this? I do. Tough guy to strike out, and Brantley. Chuck your glove again, Huddy.
Here he is. 1 inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs so far in the spring.
What a difference a couple of years makes in throwing your glove on the mound.
9 games, September and beyond. And of course, the Nationals also got a lot of national play because it was family first going into the LCS. Daniel home for the birth of a beautiful baby, rejoining the ball club. And the Cardinals could do nothing in that 4-game series with the Nationals starting pitching. Not saying they didn't need all their bullpen guys, but Anibal Sanchez, followed by Max, could have done a better job in those first 2 games of taking care of business with, at least at the start of the series, the bullpen a significant man short. That's just up and in, according to Mike Estabrook, and the count's 2-1 here in the top of the 7th. This is Ivan Herrera.
But you see all that stuff that we keep watching, Carp, and there'll never be anything like it again. You know, with how they did it, from 19-31 to a wild card game to Juan Soto's hop, the one hop that maybe changed this franchise's course in history, to beating a 106-win team, sweeping the mighty Cardinals, then winning the World Series against a 107-win team. So exercising demons along the way, maybe having us all think, you know, that good things can happen, that we don't have to wait around for the worst to happen all that time, that's changed. But there'll be nothing like the very first time, and nothing like that last season ever. So even if they win it this year, it's going to be great. We all want to have that feeling again. You know, you talk to Giants fans, they've won 3 in San Francisco. They still go back to 2010, the first one they won. That feeling of euphoria that you have as a fan and as a player the very first time, and the way they did it is so improbable and unbelievable, with all the organic things that happen along the way with Baby Shark and the start. You'll never see that again. If the Nats win 5 more World Series, you'll never see that again. Or anything like it.
Mac Williamson out in right field on that one. Wholesale changes all over.
Wins in your favor. Put it out there.
Tyler O'Neill, 4th at bat, a couple of strikeouts, and then 2 innings ago, RBI double to left. Good tight slider from Daniel. Fastball low. J.B. Shuck, Emilio Bonifacio, Luis Garcia, Wilmer Defoe at third, Jake Knoll at first, Wellington Castillo behind the plate. Always look forward to seeing Luis Garcia. I've heard so much about him. Considered by many the next great young player after Soto and Robles in this organization. Wilmer Defoe, strong throw, but O'Neill able to leg that out for an infield hit right over the bag.
Have we ever had a Schrock and a Shuck in the game before, ever?
Rangel Ravello, 1 for 3, double. Back in the second. And really, this has been one of the first times that Wellington Castillo has been able to go behind the plate. He's had a little shoulder thing going on this spring. DH'd in one of the games we did, or at least was scheduled to, and got scratched. Andrew Stevenson replaced him. Checking the wristband.
Here, looked at the wristband for a throw over here. So good to have Daniel Hudson back. You know, he's a free agent. He really wanted to come back and be a part of this thing again. A guy that was released in spring training last year and ended up being a World Series champion. On the mound for Game 7 in the final out. How about that? And got criticized during the playoffs for being a tremendous father and husband.
Fastball up. Yeah, David Sampson, the former Miami Marlins executive, at the forefront of that, and he took well-deserved heat.
My favorite story about Daniel Hudson is in the wild card game where he was warming up and Juan Soto hit the ball and took a bad hop, and he still wasn't hot yet, and he wanted to continue, but Nats Park lost its mind. The biggest eruption at a sporting event I've ever heard. And all the bullpen guys were celebrating. They were all hugging down there and going nuts, as we all were. We all lost our mind. And he's whistling, and he still needs to throw more pitches. And they can't hear him because it's so loud. And so he's trying to throw some more warm-up pitches. Then he just went out there cold and used the 8 pitches and the adrenaline from this play, which looks like it hit a divot or something going that way. That's the first break the Nats have ever gotten in October, and they parlayed it into a parade. So right here, the shot. Do we have the shot of left field with everybody throwing their beers in the air? That's my favorite one. That one's burned into my brain. That's pretty good too, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. And Ravello leaning out over the plate a little bit, and that stood him straight up.
So he said, I just threw the ball in the air and said, forget it. I'll go out there on the mound and warm up. And he used the adrenaline and just threw it as hard as he could, got 3 outs, and the party started.
Two. And a Yan Gomes block earlier turns into a Wellington Castillo block here. A couple of guys who have a lot of time behind the plate. Castillo last couple of years with the White Sox, Orioles in 17, D-backs before that, and most of his early big league career with the Cubs. Three-two, runner holding into right center. Williamson cannot cut it. Heading for third, O'Neill sent home, 8-0. And Ravello's second hit of the night. Next up, the right fielder, Austin Dean.
Saw Austin a lot when he was a Marlin.
Yeah. They drafted him in the 4th round 8 years ago. He'll be 26 in August. And a guy who's battled his way through 7+ minor league seasons. Good take on a good fastball off the plate in. And the Marlins have added some guys. Jesus Aguilar, the former Brewer. Jorge Alfaro, the former Philly catcher. That's a loud sound. Out to deep left center, and it's kind of a merry-go-round of St. Louis runners right now. 9-0.
I think Huddy's biggest out last year in the postseason when it was in Los Angeles in Dodger Stadium. You remember when Davey Martinez walked? I'm trying to think. He walked the tie-in run. Max Muncy, who was killing the Nats the whole. He was telling the story today. Davey was telling the story today before the game. And then Huddy walked the next guy, and then he had Corey Seager up with the bases loaded and the game on the line to stay alive in the playoffs. And he threw the nasty slider to Seager in Dodger Stadium to get the last out.
Taking over at DH, Justin Williams.
That was in game 2. But that was huge to go back with a split to D.C. and then split again in D.C. and to get back to L.A. for game 5. Yeah, then Smith behind Muncy walked on 4 pitches, and then Corey Seager struck out in a big-time battle where he was swinging out of his shoes the whole at-bat. I believe on a back knee slider.
Some good run on that 87. In the air to right. Helping wind. Out of here, 11-0.
Another good swing by Cardinals hitter. I think he wanted to bury that in, and it kind of leaked back out over the plate. Bell-tie fastball, got on top of it. The kids trying to make a play out there. Nice dive-in play by that Nats fan.
So 5 batters, last 4 reaching. And Davey Martinez deeper into his bullpen here in the top of the 7th inning. Hudson done after a third of an inning. 4 runs given up, and it's all Cardinals to this point. Next time we're with you, day game a week from today. Yankees way down from Tampa. And then the Mets the following Tuesday. The following Saturday when we wrap it up. And then the Nats will take on their future stars at Nationals Park. Little rehearsal for opening day for everybody in the yard. Right before the Nats will hop on the train that night and head up to the Big Apple. David Hernandez, 34 years of age now. Big league time with the Orioles, D-backs, Phillies, Angels, back to Arizona, and then the Reds the last 2 years. And over the last 2 years, he appeared in 108 games for Cincinnati out of the bullpen, accounting for over 100 innings.
34 years old, 6'3", 245. Fastball averaged 94 for the Reds last year. Slider, curveball, change to complement it.
Cincinnati loading up for the coming season.
I want to see Schrock hit one to Shrek.
Shrek's playing the outfield?
Shrek's in left, Schrock's hitting. That's Shrek. Oh. Schrock's up, Shrek's in left. It's Shuck.
JB Shuck.
Shuck.
When you said Shrek, it reminded me of Kevin Mench, who played for the Nationals for a little while many years ago. He was in the minor leagues And the way I heard the story from our old friend Tom Pachorik, he went to a new ball club. They didn't have a picture of him, and when he came up to bat, they put Shrek on the video board.
Well, that's what I meant, Chuck. And then Schrock hitting.
Ah, shucks. So Edmundo Sosa up next. He's 1 for 3.
And he could have hit one to Juan Soto. It's 11-0, man. I'm practicing too.
I don't like practicing for blowouts.
Yeah. Spring doesn't count.
Whoa. Sosa spinning out. It's a good slider, had him reaching. Wilmer Defoe, the short way to Castro. Second out of the inning.
How about a promo? Join the official kids clubs of the Washington Nationals, built for our youngest and most energetic Nats fans. They're on the hill right now, ages 4 through 12. Get access to members-only offers, exclusive giveaways, and our second annual Kids Eat Free program. Register today at nationals.com/juniornats. That's nationals.com/juniornats.
Yeah, JR Nats. Another AB for Tommy Edman. Homer single. 3 RBIs his last 2 times up. Two and 0. Fastball riding high at the letters. I mean, the wind blew that thing back and it all. Only ended up being about 8 feet foul. Maybe 2 or 3 rows over there.
Pretty breezy at the moment.
And this one right at the shortstop, Luis Garcia. Nats coming up, bottom 7 after the stretch, down big. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
It's a cool shot.
Beautiful.
Right down there on the Palm Beach side, looking back toward the West Palm Beach side of the Intercoastal.
Yeah. You know your waterways.
Actually got one right for a change.
Wilmer Defoe leads off. And for the Cardinals, righty, he's 23 years of age, Tampa native, Jake Woodford, drafted out of high school by the Cards in the first round of the 2015 draft. 9 wins at AAA Memphis last year as a starter. 26 starts. Ooh, Wilmer Defoe. 3 for 15 this spring. Lost the release point on that hook.
A fastball, slider, curveball, change, cutter as the reserve pitch for Woodford.
Fastball in, 2-2.
I miss the smell of the bat on a foul ball burning. You always see guys smelling their bat after they foul one back.
Two again, and Wilmer will hook it. Schrock right side, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th underway. Starlin Castro staying in. And Zimmerman right now, the only starter still around in the lineup. And for Starlin, just his 3rd AB of the night.
You know, veterans sometimes will tell the manager, I want some at-bats. I need some right now. So leave me in for 3 tonight. Or I want to play the whole game. Or I want to go to the minor league side and lead off every inning for 8 innings and get 8 at-bats in one day.
Very intriguing addition to the lineup. Producing 86 runs with the Fish last year. Looked like a good take. 2-1.
See if he gets a fastball here, and if this is loud. Right center. Oh, that was an in-between swing. That's you're not sure. You don't see an apprehensive swing from Starlin Castro in a 2-1 count if you're feeling good. Look at, there's almost an afterthought. Like a 2-strike pitch that he tried to foul off. That means he's thinking.
That's a loud sound, but it's right at the left fielder. We saw Castro go to left center here last week when we televised, and on a ball that probably would have been out of the yard on another night, it died in the wind. So some good swings, still trying for that first base hit.
Or maybe he set a trap 2-1 with that swing and hoping he'd get it 2-2. He knew it was coming, and there's an aggressive swing and a loud sound. Watch this swing and tell me it's not Juan Soto. This is Luis Garcia. Check it out. They had the split screen. He went deep the other day in Jupiter of Luis and Juan Soto on the internet.
Yeah.
And Juan went deep there when he got called up for the day in the minor leagues. He went deep. Look at the stance. Everything's the same. And why wouldn't you copy Juan Soto?
1-1. He won't be 20 until the middle of May. 257 in 129 games at AA Harrisburg last year. Then he went to the Arizona Fall League, and in 20 games he hit 276. Signed with the Nats at the age of 16 4 years ago. Yeah, it's amazing.
Wait till you see the swing.
The other way. Races on, ball gets away. And Garcia's aboard here in the 7th.
resemblance, right? The stance for sure, and then the swing. The leg kick. Tried to stay back on the off speed. Put the ball in play. Good things happen.
Well, they put an error on the board.
I just, you could emulate Juan Soto and have a stance like Juan Soto, but knowing the strike zone like number 22 is a whole different story, and I think that's something you can't teach. His command of the strike zone is like no other player I've seen at 19, 20, and now 21 years old. Speaking of Juan. And I think that's just something you have. I don't think that's something you learn.
Well, Castillo, 12 and 41, the power numbers in just 72 games with the White Sox. And a ball to short. And that's it for the Nats. Only 3 hits all night long. They've stranded 2 runners. Tough to keep scoring one like this. Taking that right into championship week. It'll take place all of opening week. Player ring presentation, Champions Day. Davey Martinez World Series bobblehead presented by Geico. So grab your tickets for April 4 and 5 against the Mets, 6 through 8 against the Marlins. Nationals.com/ticket finder. Top of the 8th. Roenis Elias. Yeah, because of the hamstring, the unfortunate injury suffered while he was trying to leg out an infield hit in Arizona. Only appeared in 4 games down the stretch for the Nats. And much bigger things expected of him this year.
Yeah, fastball, slider, curveball change.
Jake Knoll, no play after knocking it down. That was Dylan Carlson's 5th AB.
Good effort. Just off the end of his glove. Maybe a little jab step toward first as he came set was the difference.
Ivan Herrera took over behind the plate from Matt Wieters. Gets his 2nd AB here. Good heater, low in the zone, 0-2.
Yeah, reverse splits for this left-hander, which might come in handy with the 3-batter minimum, which starts March 12th down here, where relievers are going to have to face.
Yeah, we'll televise 1 week from today against the Yankees when that will kick in. Yeah, what becomes of the lefty versus lefty specialists? Guys like former Nat Jerry Blevins, who would come into the game to face a batter or 2. Be interesting to identify those guys during the coming season who can make those adjustments and fulfill that rule change.
Could be interesting to see how managers deal with that.
Yeah.
Then who takes advantage of it? Who doesn't? Who gets out managed with it? Who doesn't? Some rule changes, a 3-batter minimum for all pitchers or the end of the inning.
Yeah. Never been more excited about the rule change. That is number 2 right there. Challenge reduced time from 30 to 20 seconds. And no more 10-day DL for pitchers. High in the air, out to right. Zach Williamson right next to Bonifacio for the first out here in the 8th.
I'm going to see the rule play out before I crush it on air. I have my thoughts about it now, but I've been wrong before. And I've always been the get off my lawn broadcaster when it comes to new rules. So I'll crush it if it needs to be crushed. And if it's good, great.
Hey, I didn't like the wild card, and it's turned out to be one of the greatest things in the history of the game. Keeping teams involved that would have been eliminated by early to mid-September.
It's like saying a trade is good on the day of a trade. You never know until maybe a year or so later if a trade's good. And there was this discussion amongst my friends this winter, because Lucas Giolito's done so well for the White Sox. Was that a good trade? And I said, anytime a trade leads to a parade in a World Championship, which it did with Adam Eaton, it's a great trade, because what's the object of the game?
Win the World Series.
The World Series. So that's a great trade. End of discussion. It doesn't go any further than that. If Lucas Giolito, and I hope he does, wins 5 Cy Youngs, the conversation is over that was a good trade because you won a championship.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Lucas has been battling some chest area problems, but he is scheduled, I think, to make his first start early next week.
That's not good right now. The last thing you want is chest area problems.
Wow, what a great job of turning that pitch over for the strikeout. Elias, and there's part of that reverse split thing you talked about, striking out a right-handed batter, Tyler O'Neill.
Yeah, so say he comes in to get one lefty out, a nasty lefty, Freddie Freeman, and there's 2 right-handers behind Freddie. Well, that's what you need now. There's no more lefty specialists.
Great pitch. Here's Ravello. Double. Second inning, RBI double in the 7th. He's 2 for 4. And that's a breaking ball that came back enough for a strike. At the time the Nats got him, Elias 44 games for Seattle with a 3.64 ERA. And really, anytime you're in the American League and your ERA starts with 3, that's a good thing. For the Mariners, who were having a rough year, 45 strikeouts, 17 walks in 47 innings. So we didn't even get a sampling of what this guy can do. And it's almost like getting a new left-hander, along with the addition of Will Harris from the right side. He was a starter his first couple of years with the M's. Big leagues since 2014 after departing Cuba. Native of Guantanamo.
Pretty good pitch right there. Good take. That was designed for a swing and a miss. About a week or so, you start lining up your relievers into situations where they're going to pitch during the season, maybe back-to-back days, stretching them out a little bit, getting them ready for opening day.
Ball touched out to right. Williamson back. Right in front of the wall, a step before the barrier. And Elias, a scoreless 8th. That's good for the Nats bullpen. Bottom of the 8th, straight ahead. Hey, boys, how you doing? How about some offense? Something here in the last couple of innings. Nats fans having a good time at the yard. This is Ryan Helsley, 25-year-old from Tahlequah, Oklahoma, out of northeastern state. Cardinals made him a 5th rounder 5 years ago. And with the big club, for the 2.95 ERA last year in 37 innings.
Yeah, big fastball average 98 last year, so cutter curveball change a compliment, cutter 88.
And taking over for Ryan Zimmerman in the DH spot is Yadiel Hernandez.
This would be fun to watch. Good fastball, a guy that likes to swing hard. Here we go.
Yeah. 53 homers, 324 average in 6 years in Cuba with the Matanzas ball club.
Whoa.
I think that one got mitt and umpire's helmet on the way back to the right.
Yeah. Catcher's 0 for 1.
Fastball indeed.
He didn't even get a glove on that, did he?
I don't know. I thought I heard 2 sounds, but the ball was coming hard.
He put down 2. They're throwing a fastball.
97.
He wanted something slower.
Nice swing. First Nats hit since Soto's double back in the 5th. It's Yadiel Hernandez, 4th hit of the spring. Next up, the sensation of last year's spring training, Jake Knoll. When he hit .320, made the opening day roster seemingly out of nowhere. 2 for 12 for the Nats in 8 ball games, and Nationals were in Denver, departing, coming home from a road trip when he went back to Fresno and hit .285 there the rest of the year.
When did the Nats go to Denver this year? Have you looked?
I think it's a little later than last year.
I'm seeing July here. Oh,
ball won't be flying then, will
no,
it?
August, sorry.
Oh, man.
They're at Nats Park in July.
Yeah.
Nats go there in August.
Well, we've been to Denver in the past when it's been 90s and 100 degrees in the middle of August. I mean, pitchers are just thinking, are you kidding me? Good pitch with some dive on it by Helsley. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's a tailor-made double play ball, 6-4-3. Second of the night by the St. Louis defense.
It's 11-0, and we're looking at the score, and guys are trying to make the team or make an impression at the very least. So even though, you know, usually in games like this, you're still trying to get your hits and you're still trying hard. But in spring training, when you come in late, We've talked about it every single year. You want the manager to remember what you did, even if you don't make the team. So if there's a need, you're the first guy they think about.
Yeah.
It's not always making the club. It's sometimes even more important is making an impression. Tough to make a World Series championship ball club that's pretty much set, but with injuries and need, you want to leave a great impression.
Emilio Bonifacio hasn't been in the big leagues for a couple of years. Last time with the Braves in 17. 248 and 157 at bats for the Nats in 08. And as we mentioned last week, traded to the Marlins, who were looking for some speed and some defense. The Nats got Scott Olson and Josh Willingham in that deal. That's well placed. First time tonight, the Nats have 2 hits in an inning. And Bonifacio aboard with 2 outs.
Don't you feel like that's almost every hit we've seen Emilio Bonifacio get over the years?
I mean, when he went to the Marlins, he fairly drove the Nats crazy for a couple of seasons.
He did. He goes the other way. I mean, he hit some home runs, believe it or not, against the Nats. But this is what you think about when you think about him. Just slap it the other way and run.
Parts of 11 years in the big leagues with the D-backs, Nats, Marlins, Blue Jays, Royals, White Sox, Braves. And then back to Chicago and Atlanta for return appearances.
Fantastic career. Still going.
J.B. Shuck is next. Originally drafted by the Astros out of Ohio State, and 27 games, 213 for the Pirates last year. Not biting on that one, diving down and away. .96 on the heater. 2-1. Right in on the hands. Helsley gets a double play ball, gave up a couple of hits. Nats strand a runner to the ninth in this 11-0 game.
I left a breaking ball up that they hit a double heater away for another double, and then thought I made 2 good pitches there, fell behind, and just a fastball that kind of was left over. But it was good to just throw. I think I probably threw 25 pitches that inning or so, just to kind of see how I felt after that. But feel the ball's coming out better, and was able to throw everything, bunch of change-ups and breaking balls today.
Patrick Corbin absolutely right. 25 pitches, second inning, 53 total, 35 strikes. And some of the hitting that Tommy Edmonds has done, a couple of doubles for Juan Soto. And Patrick Corbin kind of talking the same way Max Scherzer did last week. Not little adversity in spring training, not a bad thing to see how you feel afterwards.
No, I thought slider was great. I mean, other than, hitting a few barrels, but it's about your workout, getting your work in. These guys don't panic. They're veteran guys. It's about building up and getting ready for when it counts.
He did have 5 strikeouts. So we go top 9. And pitching for the Nats, Jonathan Herman, 3 levels of the organization. Last year from Hagerstown to High A Potomac up to Double A Harrisburg, and he didn't have an ERA in any of those places higher than 3.5. In fact, when he went to Double A in 9 ball games, 2.8 08. Clean catch by Castillo on a wicked breaking ball. Herman, 25 years of age, 6'4", 215. Bani of the Dominican Republic. Fastball, challenge heater, and right at Bonifacio for the first out.
All right, welcome to the Palm Beaches, everybody. Welcome, welcome, my friends, to America's first resort destination and second home of your Nats. The Palm Beaches are your playground for every traveler, your budget or your interest. So join your Nats here in West Palm Beach. For more information, visit thepalmbeaches.com.
There's Justin Williams. First at bat 2 innings ago. It went on to the berm out in right field for a 2-run homer. And trying to make it 2.
Change up coming.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Tomorrow, Nats are up in the Cardinals Marlins ballpark to take on the Fish. It's a 7:05 Eastern game tomorrow night. And then split squad on Saturday here against Miami and at the Mets. Tigers will be here from Lakeland, Tiger Town on Sunday. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. 2 down.
Little hop on that heater. Well, giddy up there at the end. Nice pitch.
Max Schrock. 2 walks at base hit. He's 1 for 2. Looks like a really good inning for Herman. About 95 over to Jake Knoll. 1, 2, 3. Nice grab, Jake. We're going bottom 9.
12 run 9. Let's go.
Having a big time at the yard. No cares about the scoreboard. Just having a great time with mom and dad nearby. Bottom of the 9th. Another inning of work for Ryan Helsley, who came in to give up a couple of hits, got a double play ball in the 8th, some of what he did last year. As mentioned, a young guy with a big arm. Now, here's Mac Williamson with an RBI, 1 for 14 this spring. Parts of 5 years with the Giants and Seattle. Went from San Fran after 15 games last year to the Mariners. Tailing action, sinking action. I don't think the first base dugout liked the strike call. Little maybe backup action on that.
Yeah, Matt can hit him a long way when he gets him. That was a changeup.
Day game next Thursday. Yankees down from Tampa. You talk about a ball club dealing with injuries right now. Severino, significant starter. Judge, Stanton, both beat up right now.
Found a way to win 103 games last year with a lot of guys hurt.
They did. Two. Foul tip and the strikeout. Wilmer Defoe again. And then after him, first AB tonight for Adrian Sanchez. And Wilmer thought it was outside. Strike one. Well, tonight the Nats got 3 innings from Patrick Corbin. Bullpen work for Javi Guerra, Sean Doolittle, Daniel Hudson, Roenis Elias among the frontline guys. Juan Soto, a couple of doubles. Wilmer pulled it first time. Ground ball to Schrock, right side. Out to left center. Carlson. That's down to their final out.
So Chip Hale's the new third base coach for the Nats. He hasn't had a lot of customers on Masson this spring.
Well, this is our third telecast. First one got rained out after 2 scoreless innings. One unearned run last week. We need some offense on TV here.
We're saving it.
I hope. Adrian Sanchez next. The Nats' most well-traveled player between Washington and Harrisburg, PA last year. With the AAA out in Fresno, had to keep some guys like Adrian, Michael A. Taylor, ready when needed at AA, several hours north.
Mike Estabrook has taken some direct hits tonight on pitches. That's when you just lean over and whisper in the catcher's ear, hey, catch this one.
He's like, where's Yachty when I need him? Pitch up, 2-0. I might get one more look at Luis Garcia.
I'd like to see that. Adrian always gives you a good professional at-bat when he walks in the batter's box.
And he'll take the 4-pitch walk. Couldn't go the whole night without seeing Mike Maddox, right?
The Cardinals thought the fact that he had 2 holes in one before the playoffs was a sign. But he did. He had 2 holes in one in one round.
Mad Dog went over to Army-Navy Country Club in Arlington. Aced 2 on the morning of a playoff game. And I had the chance to go out and hack with him a couple of times when he was with us. And he's just one of those pitchers who repeats that same sweet swing over and over again. And so much enjoyed having Mike and Lise with us in D.C. Wonderful family, great guy, and doing a good job for Mike Schultz.
Twin brother in Colorado. It's my favorite
that guy.
My favorite part about Mike, my former teammate, is the Nats pitching coach.
Well, there's a healthy hack. This ball will be close, and it just comes down. Evidently stayed inside the screen and hit the barrier. Luis Garcia, 3 years in the minors, .281 batting average, 34 stolen bases.
Pretty good pitch.
Yeah. I thought it might have been a called strike. Appealed to third, no swing. Inside edge on the target. 2-1.
Probably going to get another one up there, right? Nope.
Luis Garcia, young shortstop. He's a big kid, 6'2", 211. Not many homers in his 3 minor league seasons, just 12, but he's got the size to develop some serious pop. 2-2. And straight up in the air to the left side. And that will do it as the Cardinals come into the Nats ballpark and pound out 11 runs on 14 hits, stranding 6, and they beat the Nationals tonight 11-0. For FP, I'm Bob Carpenter. Final score, St. Louis by 11. Next Thursday, it's a 1 o'clock game when the Yankees are here. That's March 12th, and we hope you join us for our next Nationals telecast. This has been a presentation of Masson. Fun on the burn tonight. That's about it from West Palm. See you later.